Hi there, Lily. It's Mr. Prater here talking to you about a soldier's life in the Civil War now. Our students are getting to look at the artifacts that a soldier would carry while on the march in the year 1861. When I put on this jacket, I'm going to start talking, start talking like I am a Civil War soldier. I base this soldier that I'm talking about off of a relative of mine who's named John Thacker, who fought in the Civil War. All right, here goes the coat. This coat that I'm wearing is the typical soldier's coat in the Civil War. It is a blue coat, which symbolizes that my relative fought for the Union, keeping the country together during the Civil War. Sorry. Little problem with the sleeve. There we go. Hands through the sleeve now. Apologize. A soldier would carry a lot with him on the march. A lot of the artifacts are laid out on a blanket here. I'm about to show you. These are the items belonging to a soldier at the time of the Civil War. Many of these items are purchased from home. In fact, they're not given to you by the army when you fight in the war, but you instead have to bring them as a way to occupy your time, because living at the time during a war as a soldier, there'd be little of the time fighting, but a lot of the time practicing your moves as a soldier, practicing with your musket, and a very short amount of time, like about 3 or 4 days a year, is the time that a soldier is going to spend in battle. But they've always got to be prepared because they're unsure of when a battle is going to take place. For the times of fighting, I'm throwing on a cartridge box. The cartridge box is important because it's going to carry the material the soldier needs for a fight. In here could be a bullet, but instead it's just black powder. And here is all that a soldier would put into his gun after biting off the lid and putting the powder down its musket to use. Next, the soldier is going to put on his belt. I'm sorry that Garrett is in the background. He's actually at Father's house, cleaning some stuff on Father's house. That's where I'm at. This belt buckle talks about how I am a member of the Ohio Volunteer Militia, a soldier who's not a part of the regular army before the Civil War, but joins the army because the United States got attacked by the South. The South is looking for freedom to do what they want, not take orders from Washington, who's the nation's capital. They wanted to govern themselves, and with governing themselves, they felt like they had rights to do what they wanted. One of the things the southern states was wanting to do was continue the practice of slavery, having another human work unpaid to do your work on a field. And they were unpaid, they had little freedoms. And as a gentleman living at the time in the North, I don't like that. I certainly don't like that today. So I'm fighting to end it. I've joined the United States to bring those Southern soldiers who attacked the fort to justice, and because I want to end slavery as well. Next, put all the material that I showed you on the blanket goes into this haversack, this bag that I carry on my back, or also in a backpack that I'm using. This is a backpack that a soldier would carry his night roll in, as well as some games and candles to keep him occupied on the march. He's wearing his bag of personal effects, and also his food. His food is also in this bag too. Last, the soldier would put on his canteen. Very important in fighting in the South because of how hot a weather during the day it can be. So it's important that the soldiers stay hydrated with water. Lastly, this is the hat. The Civil War uniform is not complete until the hat is put on. Mine has a brass symbol of a trumpet on it. The symbol of the trumpet is representing that I fight with my feet. I'm not riding a horse like the cavalry would, but I'm walking everywhere I need to go and using my rifle in places where I'm hidden to get to the enemies, to shoot the enemies with my rifle. Some of the artifacts that I can discuss with you now too. Got the Bible that I carry around. In fact, my uncle, talking as John Thacker, my uncle is very religious and is saying that if I need to read this Bible every night to keep me protected, to put a shield of grace around me that no bullet could penetrate while I'm at war. The baseball here, you probably had seen. The baseball is representing how baseball was invented at the time of the Civil War and really popularized by the armies of the Union playing it against the armies of other Union troops. States all entered their own armies into the fight. So I've got a friend that's fighting for the Union, but he's from Wisconsin. And I've never met anybody from Wisconsin before today. It's wonderful. We played a game. I hit 2 triples. And John, my other friend John from Wisconsin, struck out 2 times. It was hilarious. Some other important things I'd like to share with you that a soldier carried was his eating equipment. His eating equipment made out of tin right here. I would have to go up to the company cook and ask him for food by holding out my plate, just like I would in a school cafeteria. And to stay hydrated with some coffee in the morning, because I work at all times during the day to protect my guys against the rebels. I needed some coffee to stay awake late at night in case they didn't attack by nighttime. Got some other things, my journal where I write down my record of service to tell stories for later. As historians, I know, are really going to love reading this journal. I've got a musical instrument here that I borrowed from my Wisconsin friend. He plays the fife, which is this instrument here. The fife is important because it's going to signal through sound to my general, the generals and other officers above me, what I'm doing as a soldier who's looking out for the rebels. And if I see some, I could play this. I'm not that musically talented. Play it to let the general know I found somebody and I need help to defeat the guys that I have found. I think that's about all. I can't pick up my chest set that I've carried around as a soldier. But at night, to keep me warm, I have got this type of scarf right here because it gets very cold in the South at nighttime. All right, Lily, I hope you have enjoyed watching this. I cannot wait to meet you in the future. In fact, if Mr. Prater is watching this too, tell him that I'm going to tell him to give you a good education because all children deserve a good education. Thank you and have a good weekend, Lily.